Disco Bloodbath's coming up. Dimaga, once again, he is streaming his point of view on his channel. Hearthstone's streaming on his point of view, too. There's a lot of Starcraft going on today, actually. Wardy's got his thing starting up now, too. Thank you guys for picking this one, though. For those who are listening and watching, I'm glad you're here. Let's hop in a game. Finally, it timed out well for once. Okay, it's game 1 of the Elimination series, and we got here a little bit quicker than expected. But that being said, spawning here to the bottom left, we do have our red Zerg player fighting for his life in the tournament. We have Dimaga. And to the bottom right, we do... Oh, let me swap the names on the overlay. We do have the blue Terran player, Kelazhur. Now, as the tournament has been structured, sadly, somebody here is going to be eliminated, and they will no longer participate in the rest of the tournament. No prize money, no nothing. Shame to see them go. But if somebody does survive this match, they go to the finals of the group, where they have one last chance to get out of second place. If you get out of your group today, you get $50 in prizing. Minimum. Now, obviously, you could go on and win the whole thing. But bare minimum, it's $50 for 8th through 5th place. This is thanks to Mike Seckham. Now, there's not a lot of crazy donation incentives and things like that on the Match Arena page, but if you guys want to get involved, if you want to add some money to the prize pool, you are more than welcome to. !Match Arena in the chat will take you there. I have contacted Match Arena, seeing if we can get some coupon codes or something cooked up. But for now, it's just simply if you want to be part of this tournament, you want to be like, yeah, I helped fund Season 1. Or a couple bucks in, why not? But if I'm being really honest, and I'm being quite blunt, I'd prefer if you give me the money. I had a bit of a rough month. But that being said, the thing I could ask most of you is actually nothing that's money, nothing that's greed. Just hit the follow button if you're not already following the channel. I keep stressing this because I gotta get you guys back on board, right? We're streaming again. We're gonna be doing it like 4 or 5 days out of 7 days of a week. A lot of good content coming up in the future. You don't want to miss out on it. And if you've enjoyed these games at all today, we got many more like this. In fact, while we got this opening of this Reaper heading across the map, let me update you guys on what the other groups look like. Because the other groups have, we've got Euthermal, Koss, Denver, and Geralt. That's going to be coming up on the 28th. And then the one that is 2 days from now, on the 27th, is going to be Cham, 3DB, Puck, and Mana. That's actually a really cool group. No offense to B. I think B's a bit of the underdog in that group. But Cham, Puck, and Mana, 3 very, very good players are going to be contending. I can't wait to see how that one plays out. And of course, for the round of 8, we're resurrecting the names drawn from the hat. We're going to pick we're going to draw names for that round of 8 matchups. Or those, rather, round of 8 matchups. It'll be a lot of fun. I have missed this man. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Now, look, Twitch added this thing while I was gone. This community gift chest. I don't really know what this is or how this works. Apparently, it's a way to give skin codes away to other people. I don't know. Not for StarCraft. For a game called Dauntless. All I know is it spams the chat when we fill it up. That's all I've learned about it so far. But these Reapers out of Kelazhur, by the way, normally it's not... You know, they don't get that much damage done, but these lads have killed a couple of the lings, clearing the way now to get to the mineral lines. Tries to grab one of these drones, does get one, gets 2. I don't know if they're both going to get out alive. One of these Reapers should get out. Oh, barely. Very, very barely. But kills 2 drones, gets a lot of scouting, maybe a little bit of panic for Dimaga, and he's following this up with Hellions. The factory's done. Oh, man, I forgot how slick these Hellions look. I love it. Hey, Base Trade TV, every once in a while, Twitch will have a thing where Prime users can give away skin codes. I guess that's what this is. That's cool, though. I like it. That's neat. Rip to the rally card reset. Yeah, so someone asked about this earlier, too. There was battle cruisers on the way, by the way, Kelazhur. We keep this hype on lockdown. Don't you worry. So Rally right now resets their seasons about once a month, but I've seen a lot of their partner feedback because we're all in like a Discord together, and people have expressed that they want these seasons to last longer. You know, it feels a little bit lame. You build up these cards and then they're gone, right, before you even really get to use them. So I don't know if they're planning to extend it. I don't have any information about that whatsoever, but I do want you guys to know that this has been something that's been echoed by a lot of people, that they want them to change the duration of the season things. So yeah, play with the cards to your heart's content, but everything resets, I think, at the start of next month. Luckily, I should be here so we can actually play at the start of the month too, and we don't miss out on literally half the month of rally because I've been screwed moving. But anyways, I point out the battlecruiser, and I love battlecruisers. They've always been my favorite unit. I've used them in gross ways myself, but I've enjoyed watching pro players use them in better ways. And it does look like Dimaga is going to be a little prepared for this. I say a little because it's like a spore crawler here, a queen there. Nothing that's concretely anti-battlecruiser, but gathered together, this many queens should be able to keep that battlecruiser from getting too much done. At the same time, though, there's like a really cool distraction thing that ends up happening here. Kelazhur is going for mech behind this, just to note that real quick. But what he's going to do with these Hellions is either have all the queens chase the Hellions, leaving an opening for the battlecruiser, or alternatively, the battlecruiser distracts all the queens and the Hellions run into the mineral lines. And while this goes on, he's just cleaned up a ton of creep. Big denying that creep start from Dimaga. As the queens come out to replace it, again, everything's just about positioning here. This is such a big deal. We got Overlords being sniped off by a Viking. Where's that battlecruiser? Battlecruiser hit the main base. Target firing down the drones, just kind of sitting above the spore crawler because he can. Queens have now successfully been baited to the main base, leaving an opening now possibly for the Hellions. This was, as long as the battlecruiser lives, this was good damage. Now he starts running up here. This one queen exposed out in the open. A couple of links come in for this round, but there's so many Hellions here. Killing a queen with it, not an easy task. Starts splitting the Hellions with those line shots. Not quite the easy mode surrounds that Dimaga wanted, but he does surround some of the Hellions and keeps this from getting too out of hand. But this is another battlecruiser. And this one gets out alive. He'll go home to repair it. Little clipped wings that they are. I gotta turn on classic skins if we're gonna be using the battlecruisers, because the classic battlecruiser actually looks really cool. But at any rate, this Viking, oh my god, even just look at the idle animation on the jets. I love everything about the Tyranor skins. This war chest might not be like the craziest war chest of all time, but it's added some of the coolest effects to Terran, in my opinion. But kind of cool things to emphasize here. Kelazhur's not only gone for mech, he's actually reinvesting in battlecruisers. We have more being built, but also Yamato cannon on the way. This is an upgrade that quite a few people will skip because of how long it takes to research, and usually you're not investing in more than like 1 or 2 battlecruisers anyways. But Kelazhur, I love it. I want to see it. It's a one-shot on queens, which is great. Scans ahead, too, to see the queens coming over with the Hellions. They're going to transform into Hellbats, and these, yeah, they don't give a fuck about queens now. If the queens want to kite, sure, that's one thing, but here come the Banelings. Unfortunately, in Hellbat form, he's pretty clustered up here. You got to split a little bit. Oh, but he blasts away a lot of the lings in the process. That trade out there for Kelazhur. He does lose everything, of course, but all those queens out of position. Now battlecruisers to the main base. Yamato cannon about 60% of the way done. He doesn't have the one-shot for queens yet, but he does cook up these drones, and Dimaga is struggling to deal with this. Oh my god, Kelazhur's Hellion play was so good. That huge bait, it also used up a lot of the transfuse energy. Not all of it, obviously, but a lot of the transfuse energy to keep those queens alive, meaning there's a better chance battlecruisers take fights going forward. And of course, he retreats out of the base. 20-something drones die. Grand total of 25 over the course of this game. Battlecruisers, I think, what is so gross and disgusting and probably tilting about them is just how cost-efficient they are. You never really should lose a battlecruiser if you're handling it perfectly in most situations. And that's going to be a big deny on this base. As these queens come in, these 2 BCs can just turn on the queens. Yeah. More transfuses being burned into the hatchery. That's, you know, every transfuse used here is one last creep tumor, one last transfuse for the actual fight. One shots down the high energy queens with the Yamato cannons, chases down the remaining 2. God, Kelazhur's got macro behind this as well, though. We're all watching these battlecruisers on the front line, which, by the way, have teleport off cooldown. They can get out of here alive. Neil joins the front line, though, and says bye-bye to that queen. But I was going to say, there's macro going on behind this. Kelazhur's got a 4th base on the way. He's got upgrades. I mean, these battlecruisers have won him the game before he even needed to win the game, and he still has a follow-up to it. This has been rough. One of the worst parts about this, too, is, like, you really can handle this as a Zerg player. You just have to know this is coming. Dimaga did not know this was coming because he was so preoccupied with the Hellions, and who could blame him? Those Hellions were a huge threat in and of themselves. But he's denying all of the tech. He's going to shut down this Bailey nest. His army back at home, by the way, he's not even moving it. He could, at any point, bring it across the field, but he's choosing not to. Oh, even the Overlord's now getting caught. This just kind of flies by everything. Yamato's off cooldown here very soon. I think he's trying to wait out the Yamato cannon cooldown instead of running away with the battlecruisers. Turns around on the Queen. No Yamato necessary here. He could actually Yamato down the support, maybe. Oh, there's battlecruiser. 24 health. It's getting so tight. For the micro out of Kelazhur. It doesn't look like there's a lot of micro going on, but if you've used battlecruisers, you can see where he's pausing in the attacks. New battlecruiser teleports on the front line. 4 battlecruisers. So many of them are so close to dead. 26 kills on one, 13 on the other. Hang on. Oh, I hit score screen. I meant to hit return to game. I want to see how many kills this battlecruiser's racked up. But GG, game 1 goes to Kelazhur. Map 2 is going to be on Ephemeron. Hosting this up now. Dimaga in a really rough spot. Because what he lost to there, I would kind of classify closer to standard than cheese. And some of you who don't play Terran will disagree with that statement. But realistically, Kelazhur didn't do anything too crazy or gimmicky there. That is exactly how you should play battlecruisers against somebody who did not play perfectly against battlecruisers. And oh, there's a lot to talk about for balance, and even I think battlecruisers need a little bit of tweaking, but just to be very clear, though, like, Kelazhur won that game, his own merits, he did a great job, but Dimaga made some pretty big mistakes, too. Is that a toilet behind him? Where? I'm trying to see what you think of my fridge? My mini fridge? or my laundry basket? I don't know what the toilet... I'm just looking at my webcam. Trying to figure out what you guys think the toilet... Okay, whatever. Anyways, we're in the map. It's Ephemeron. They're ready to go. Let's hop into it. I really wish... Okay, so my place is not presentable. I have 3 boxes right over here off camera that I need to go donate to Goodwill because I don't want to throw them out. It's like old blankets and stuff. But I do want to do like a quote-unquote house tour once I've got everything presentable because this apartment is so nice. It's so small, compact, which I'm not used to. But the view and everything, I love it. It's a really nice apartment. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping into game number 2.
Muscle, loyalty, respect.
John Cena, not now. It is his last life in this tournament for the elimination bracket. We do have down 0-1 Dimaga. And as one to the bottom right, of course, seizing victory with battlecruisers, we have Kelazhur. What's so great about this John Cena toy, though? Hang on. We're coming back to the camera scene for just a hot second. This thing makes noises when it gets hit.
My time is now.
No. What? Stop it! You're embarrassing me right now, dude! We're supposed to be showing off your cool features. There we go. It's like the bone crunching and stuff as you hit him and punch him. And I guess... You're supposed to have other wrestlers, and they're supposed to fight each other, and then, yeah, I don't know. I've had this thing since Christmas, and I don't understand it. Your time is now. Wait, where's the catchphrase? Yo, John Cena, hit us up with your catchphrase.
Never quit. Never back down.
No, the other one.
Get ready for an attitude adjustment.
No, the one where you're like a cloaked banshee.
The champ is here.
No, the one where you're burnt out underground and I have no detection.
You can't see me.
That's right. Okay, don't ever give me a soundboard, dude. I would go wild with the soundboard. But I'm not sure if it'll be battlecruisers again. It's a pretty, I think, if it's not broken, don't fix it thing, though. It was I really, it sounds so mean, and I don't want to disrespect Dimaga by saying it. But that was a pretty easy win for Kelazhur. Not because battlecruisers are necessarily broken, but because he used the strengths of already strong units with the Hellions. If Kelazhur had just done everything he did, minus the Hellions, I think Dimaga would not have had trouble dealing with that. He would not have been distracted. He would not have been out of position. There's a lot of things to say, but I think for sure Kelazhur's strengths came from not just his secondary attacks, but also from the fact that he was able to really just like punish Dimaga's need to split his forces. If you've got all those queens in one spot, they can kill a battlecruiser in a direct fight. They can. I've seen it happen firsthand. But if you have to split them because you're worried about the Hellions on the right side, and then on top of all that, by the way, the Terran player macroing at home, like it just gets worse and worse from there. But I did turn on classic skins for this one, so you're gonna see a mix of like the Tyrador skins and like you can see here the classic Marine. It's like the OG Brood War Marine. Because I'm hoping it also shows the classic battlecruiser if Kelazhur goes battlecruisers again. Because I think the classic battlecruiser in the Starcraft 2 like 3D updated engine is the coolest. I don't know if you guys remember, actually. I think my favorite reaction to any skin, not to toot my own horn too much here, but when I got the first-hand BlizzCon reveal of Mira Han's battle cruisers, I remember freaking out, having the Blizzard guy sitting directly to my left, not understanding why I'm freaking out that there's gigantic sword blades on the wings of those battle cruisers. Those, for me, will always be the coolest-looking battle cruiser skin for me. But I think the classic one actually just looks the best objectively. I missed that though. That was fun. That was, I think, and I'm gonna be a little braggy about this. I think I actually had the most viewers of all of the Starcraft streamers for that BlizzCon run. Mostly because I was the only one who got scheduled at a bad time. That worked in my favor. Because everyone else, like, you had Winter, you had Livy B, you had everybody streaming. They all got scheduled their stream slots while the BlizzCon matches were going on, so nobody's really watching. I got screwed with time, and I got stuck with an hour slot before BlizzCon games were starting, so I lucked out. I was like, sweet, there's like 1,000+ people watching me play co-op. I'll take this. Those are really good times. I'm really sad I'm not going to BlizzCon this year. I'm obviously missing TwitchCon 2. It's happening this week. Just not a lot of travel with so much going on in the home front, but man, always good times. If any of you are going to BlizzCon, take lots of pictures for me. This will be the first year in like 7 years that I'm not going to find that picture of parting giving him the middle finger. So in fact, if anyone is going to BlizzCon and you can find that banner of parting and give it the middle finger and tweet it to me, I will love you forever. For those who don't know, I do love parting. We're good friends. It's a thing I've been doing for years. Now, this Hellion attack to the main base is pretty nice. Sadly, that I don't see a fusion core in the production tab. Bummer, man. But the Hellions get up here, and Dimaga is distracted. These could have done a lot more damage, and it's a good thing Dimaga pulled the drones away, because if he had been a little stubborn about this would have been massive. Kind of like what we're going to see here, actually. A little bit of a delayed reaction from both Dimaga and me, because I couldn't really believe that he delayed that the way he did. The Liberator's going to try and get in a spot, but it loses most of its health before it has a chance to. Sets up over here probably to deny some of the larva. Maybe get some drone kills. So everything here chases, of course, that medevac. There's no position here where that medevac can move right now, though, or it's going to die. Yep. That's tough. Dimaga, what year is it? I know! It's been so long since we've seen Dimaga really on the front line of things, but Dimaga's doing really well, actually. If you haven't been keeping up with his stream or watching his MMR, he's definitely one of the, not best Zergs. It's really hard to be when you have so many good ones. You know, you got Laser, Lambo, Raynor, Cyril, the list goes on and on. But Dimaga is a very good player objectively, and his MMR is up there right now. He is not some slacker who took off from the game and came back to play in one tournament type thing. He's actually been putting the grind in, so kudos to him. And, I mean, while he is here in the elimination match, gotta go back to the fact that Dimaga almost beat Raynor in a ZvZ for the first series today. Not only did he win game 1, he almost won game 3. I love just seeing old players like this back in form, because I always, in my mind, I don't know if you guys watching do this, when I hear somebody's retired or if I haven't seen them play in a long time, I just kind of write them out in my brain. Like, not because I think they're bad or rude, but, you know, out of sight, out of mind, I no longer think about them being like a top player. And I think that's the same here for Dimaga, for probably some of you guys tuning in, but I really emphasize this to reiterate that he's maybe not having the greatest series versus Kelazhur right now. He's a good player. He's in a good spot. Do you mind breaking your NDA to tell me if the Overmind's coming to co-op? There's no NDA about it. I've not heard anything about the Overmind, dude. I think the Overmind would be a really shitty co-op commander. It wouldn't make any sense. This Hellbed attack, by the way, is getting a lot done. You can see here Dimaga's trying to bide his time, waiting for those Banelings to finish up, so he really does not want to engage with the Zerglings, but unfortunately, you know, to get the Banelings out, he's going to have to, and he sacrifices these a little bit poorly, takes out some of the Hellbeds to the back line. Most of the Queen's been taken care of. Most of the Hellbeds almost been dealt with. He just needs a few more links to get those surrounds. And there we go. Now, it looks a lot worse because on paper, you know, Dimaga lost tons of lings for not many Hellbeds, but realistically, that's the cost efficiency kind of kicking back in, and you look at the resources lost and realize not so bad for Dimaga, despite how bad that looked at first. I heard Rifkin is homeless. Where's he streaming from? I'm actually an AI simulating Rifkin coming at you from the basement of Area 51. I was actually captured, and my consciousness was uploaded. I Naruto ran a little too hard, and the only way they could save me was to put me in a computer. You know what I hate? I got ruined by World of Warcraft because every time they talked about invading Area 51, I just kept thinking, isn't it Area 52? So wait, that's the World of Warcraft parody version. This is weird with the tanks going for like a hit job on their own to the right side, but you know, this is a really good map to abuse this on with the bridges being clustered like this. There's no easy way to push into tanks if they set up on this side. Yeah, the Ravagers can push in and get the Corrosive Biles, but then they have to go through a funnel to do it, which is not easy to do. I'm not sure about setting the tanks up like this, however. In fact, I really don't like this, to be honest, but the power of Kelazhur's attack doesn't necessarily just come from this one attack. He does have Banshees heading on over here. Spore Crawlers were set up 2 of them at a time, though, so sadly not going to get crazy damage done. While this goes on, he tries to take a 4th base, but Dimaga actually not only holds but pushes out of the fence, and as he pushes down the middle of the map, there's nothing for him to really capitalize on. There's no units caught out in the open. It's a full depot wall over here. Kelazhur's got a scarily small amount of units to fight with, but the Banshees are already on the way home. In fact, the Banshees are already home thanks to that Hyperflight rotor upgrade. Now they're moving like speed demons. And as they do kite these things down, Ravagers are all going to fall. You know, I realized I just realized when Hyperflight rotors overcloak, these Banshees do not have stealth. But the entirety of Dimaga's push out, as great as it was, completely denied, and everything pretty much dies on the way back home. Sorry, taking a drink break there, but Dimaga does push back across the bridge, and these tanks are on siege. They have pretty good single target damage while on siege, but that's not the strength, and that's not how you want to use them. Cutting with the Cyclones is a good idea too. Banshees continue to be very annoying. Cloak about 1/3 of the way done. Only just got started a little bit ago. 2-2 will be done soon for the tanks. Of course, Cyclones and Hellions, they get most of their benefit from upgrades like Blue Flame and Magfell Accelerator, so 2-2 will helpful, not the biggest deal here. I'm loving these Banshees being used though to Kelazhur. I'm kind of hoping I hope we see some more than this. Like 5 Banshees minimum I'd love to see floating around the map doing big damage. Because at that point, you can start killing Spore Crawlers. Of course, going back to Cloak for a moment though, there's no Overseers currently here. Dimaga has lost a lot of Ravagers, by the way. Like 11 Ravagers down, most of which have been to these Banshees. Nice hit and run on top of this drones. Going to take some damage for the Spore Crawler, but they should still both be able to get out of there, I think. Maybe catch a couple units on the rally. But, of course, while all of this has been going on, and while the scrappy fights have been happening, Kelazhur's actually been losing out these fights. He has got a 4th base set up, and he's moving towards a 5th while we speak. In fact, the army graph kind of just shows Kelazhur taking some bad fights. Oof. The rocks are breaking down. This is going to open up a more direct line through the middle of the map to get over to Kelazhur's base. 4 Banshees out here, though, kind of say it's a no-fly zone. Well, no-go zone, I guess. And that base over here gets established up. It's going to be a planetary. I mean, all these bases outwardly are going to be planetaries. If he gets a couple of extra for orbitals in the back of his base, I mean, that'd be great. He's floating quite a bit of money after all, but I think, realistically, it's not a lack of production. It's more like a pause in production. Because he clearly has the factories. I think he's just trying to figure out what type of units he really needs to go for here. Because while producing 5 tanks at a time sounds great, it's the worst move to make if you realize your opponents on Hive Tech and Broodlords are coming. So I think for Kelazhur, some of this really was that conservativeness through gas, but also through just trying to figure out what's safe to go for. You know, can't really go for tanks if suddenly you need Thors. That's a lot of Banelings. Dimaga making 20 Banelings here just casually, no big deal. Oh man, are you guys talking about Burning Crusade in my chat right now? Can you not? I loved Burning Crusade. Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, man. All right, Tank's firing some big shots here, but the Queens, of course, aren't armored, so they don't take much. The Bantleys do crash through everything. Oh, my God. But maybe, and I think he was targeting the Queens, not because the tanks were haphazardly firing. He wanted to remove the only thing that could shoot the Banshees. Now they finish off the last few Queens, and these Hell Demons in the sky should be able to finish up 100% of Dimaga's army. Dimaga can't, he's got nothing to fall back to. It's not like a bunch of Spore Crawlers here waiting. There's one. And even then, these Banshees could probably just fly around the Spore Crawler. So Dimaga might have won the ground battle, but he's still lost the overall war, at least so far. Didn't you guys see the cinematic that came out yesterday? The end of the war campaign with Sylvanas for BFA? I know not everyone here does World of Warcraft, but oh my God. I'm like mad and excited, and I hated it and I loved it. God damn it. She's such a cheater. I've got such mixed feelings about it. Anyways, I guess we can discuss that a little bit later once we have some time, but I don't know, man. How many Queens? Hang on. I'm going to press the units lost. Guessing game time, guys, so we got a few seconds to breathe here. How many Queens do you think have died this game? I'm going to say over 14. But I don't know for sure. And we're going to take a look here. So guess, write your guess in the chat. How many Queens? There's no prize for this. Just, you know, you're the best guesser, whatever. I'm going to see how many Queens have died in 3, 2, 1. 11. I was way off. I thought way more Queens had died. This is where it gets a little awkward with the Banshees and the interaction of Hyperflight rotors. So to explain this a little bit more thoroughly to the non-Terrans who don't play this matchup, or Zergs, I guess, either. These Banshees can't really outrun things like Corruptors or Mutalisks too efficiently, but what they can outrun is the Overseer. So if at some point this gets a little too dicey, he flies a little too close to the Corruptor count, he can always cloak and get away because the Overseers can't keep up with the Banshees to see them. Oh my God, the tanks. Oh my God. He just wiped out the entire ground force in like 2 volleys! And those Corruptors, okay, yeah, you know what? They're going to stop the Banshees. But these are 17 Corruptors that Dimaga has, none of which shoot down or do anything useful in this situation. Now he's going to try and make some Broodlords, but guess what? The Cyclones are already on top of this. Oh my God, he's got to cancel the Corruptors and pull them back. And even then, remaking them into Broodlords still doesn't save them in this situation. Good game, good luck. Kelazhur will eliminate Dimaga.